Talk about why I'm pissed off by The Walking Dead. I gotta get something off my chest here, and I'll use my YouTube channel to do that, because I don't think that I have anyone else to talk to about this, because I'm very lonely. I'm so lonely, but I have a huge cock, so if you're interested in fucking just, I'll put my phone number into the video description, so maybe we can get in touch. So we can get in touch physically, and then I'll make babies with you. But let me start off with this video. When I watched season 1 of AMC's The Walking Dead, I had an absolute blast. The directing and writing were so well done. Season 1 from the first to the last episode really sucked me into its world. They really took their time to show us the aftermath of what a real zombie apocalypse would look like, with the whole city destroyed, with the people's reaction and all that. I think 28 Days Later, for instance, did that very well too, and in a similar fashion. The long shots showing the vicinity, the sparing use of music. Overall, the style that the first season was directed in really made it possible for the viewer to be immersed in the show. Also, I really cared about the characters. They were well written and brilliantly acted. But when season 2 came about, I definitely noticed a downgrade in terms of directing and writing. There were some very stupid episodes which appeared more or less filler, and the search for Sophia was really stretched. But I think the characters were still quite well developed, and I definitely cared for most of them. Now, in the middle of season 2, Frank Darabont, who was showrunner for season 1 as well as writer and director for most of its episodes, was fired. He is also the guy who made The Walking Dead as a TV show happen. So he's basically the creator of The Walking Dead, the TV show. So AMC fired him because he complained about AMC cutting the budget from $3.4 million down to $3 million per episode in season 2. The worst thing about that is that it's not like AMC didn't have the money to give Frank the budget he needed to create his vision. The Walking Dead is and was the most successful drama TV show worldwide, which AMC brags about all the fucking time. So to them this was all about maximizing profits, as they couldn't stop their greed. They ripped Frank's baby out of his arms, metaphorically speaking. Now, this is the reason why the show lost so much in terms of quality within season 2, which a lot of people noticed and put in their negative reviews. This is also the reason the whole season had to be shot entirely on Herschel's farm, nearly. Which of course annoyed a lot of the audience as well, because it was kind of stale. The plot really didn't move that much forward, and yeah, there was a problem. So with Frank's absence and the budget cuts, the show clearly got worse. You could feel the drop of production quality in season 2's first episode. It had a way different feel to it, but still not as bad as the later seasons. I actually liked season 2 a lot. It was some well-written drama. It had its strengths, I gotta say. The whole Shane and Rick relationship thing, how the emotions boil over and all that, they really carried it over to season 2 from season 1. It was already set out pretty much in season 1, but they continued it with dignity in season 2. Now, I know that Frank had little to do with season 2, but the reason I was still watching and engaged in what happened, as I said, was because of his work on season 1. Basically, what made the characters of season 1 interesting mostly carried over to the second season, because their arcs were already going somewhere. They were pointing in some direction. Now, to sum it up, even though Darabont wasn't there anymore, I still think you could feel the stamp in season 2. But I don't think that that applies to season 3 and everything beyond season 3. I think the show never returned to its former glory, and I want to make a few points on why I think that is. First of all, characters are mostly flat and don't have any interesting arcs. That counts for most of the characters who came after season 2, but also the ones still alive from before. After season 3, Daryl, for instance, I'm picking Daryl here as an example because he's obviously the undeniable fan favorite of the majority of the audience. He became a hoarse-voiced, boring and annoying fuck.
You take one step, those meds getting our people. I will beat your ass into the ground.
And I seriously liked him a lot in the first 2 seasons.
Rick Grimes, you got something you want to tell me?
But after that, he had absolutely nothing going on with his character. For all I care, Daryl can die. I have no attachment to him anymore. You know, that's sad because he used to be so interesting in season 1 and 2. He was some hillbilly with a good heart who probably had a really rough start in life. He had a father who beat him and a brother who mostly oppressed him, and the zombie apocalypse was perfect for him to thrive. Finally, what he is good at comes in handy and is important. He received appreciation from other people who weren't like him. He became a key member of a group when he was wobbling between the side of his brother, who represents his origins, and the new people who appreciate him. That was a great arc. It was really well presented in the first 2 seasons, and a little bit, if not as good, in the third. But since season 4, all he does is acting out like a badass,
Beat your ass into the ground.
shooting zombies with his crossbow and speaking with a voice that sounds like he can cut through trees with it. Tell me of one interesting story or moment he had after season 3. In my opinion, with moral staff, Daryl died too. In a way, he only is a shell of his former self now, due to his arc just stopping. I don't care for any of the characters anymore. I named Daryl as an example, but that applies basically to anyone on the show. Was I shocked when Glenn was killed? Yeah, because I didn't expect it, but was I sad when Negan smashed his head in? Hell no, Glenn didn't do anything interesting since season 2. There is no character development here. I know he got a little more serious and overly protective of Maggie, but that's all there really is to it. So how come in season 2 I was really fucking sad when Shane died? How come I was sad when Dale died? Because they were interesting characters, and that's what The Walking Dead doesn't have anymore. Interesting, well-written and authentic characters that you can genuinely care about. And characters who don't just like because they look cool shooting a crossbow. No, because they have a fucking character. Not because they're, I don't know, some superhero who's cool because he has a nice outfit. Now, next up, the bad timing and the boring dialogue. The dialogue is, in most of the following seasons, was just so stupid, pointless and boring, that while watching you could easily fall asleep. Seriously, in terms of content, I think there was one conversation per episode. Characters like Sasha or the doctor dude going absolutely nowhere. I don't even remember most of their names. I don't really remember any of their arcs, what they were involved in, where they were. I have no idea about them anymore. So to sum this up, this whole dilemma, had AMC given Darabont the freedom he deserved and the budget he needed, he'd still be there and we'd probably have the greatest show ever. I for one am really angry about how he was treated by these AMC fucks. I mean, he's a guy who puts so much passion and effort into his work and he gets treated like shit by some suit-wearing pricks. This is the man who's the reason we got a Walking Dead TV show in the first place. Remember that. By the way, Darabont also claims that members of the cast weren't allowed to speak out on the whole budget matter, as well as him being kicked from the show, and that they were being threatened that they'd lose their jobs on the show should they do so. You know, people from the cast of season 2 actually asked Frank what he'd advise them to do, if he'd say that they should actually quit the show, and he told them they shouldn't do that for him, and that they shouldn't confuse love and loyalty to him with taking a stand. That's only going to harm them and their careers. That they shouldn't expose themselves with taking legal action or retaliation, which these people were actually willing to do for the cause. The loyalty of these world-class actors being ready to let their career get a hit because they love working with him so much really shows you the type of guy Frank Darabont is. So I will end this video here. You guys should really check out the articles I put in the video description. The whole AMC Darabont debacle is laid out there quite thoroughly. And I know this video comes out really damn late, but I didn't have or make the time to create this video so far, but hey, better late than never. I'm just really sad that we will never see what Frank had originally planned for the upcoming seasons. Now, you guys are welcome to share your opinions in the comment section and show whether or not you liked the video by giving it a thumbs up or a thumbs down. Constructive criticism is always welcome. Stay tuned for more videos and have a nice day.